What is going on, my friends? So today I will be talking about the absolutely, without any doubt, best team for KRYPT. Now this team is so good that I've been running KRYPT for weeks just by using that team. No matter what, I don't care about bonuses, I don't care about it. I'm just running this team, and then at the end of the day I'm collecting the spoils. Now, why this team is so great? Because they're almost invincible, they're almost immortal. Now, I never use like any modifiers, any boosters, such as for instance large force stones, large health stones, small force stones. I am not using those because I don't have to. Now, this team grind is not really super fast. You can argue that certain teams can perform faster, for instance, the X-Ray team. However, X-Ray team is super bad to run into a Terminator, while this team has no drawbacks. Now, I already told you, I played probably thousands of fights in the crypt using that team. As you can see, win 25 matches, win 500 matches in any event tower crypt with Shang Tsung, which is basically complete. The same thing you can see in Sub-Zero. It should be right here somewhere. There you go. I already did 500 crypt fights. And the same thing you can see in Rain. I have no idea whether even Rain requires it, to be honest. There we go. It's completed there as well. So the point is, after so many fights in the crypt, do you know how many times I lost? I mean, when I say lost, I mean I just place the team, I press start and then start fighting, and then they lose and they die. Do you know how many times it happened? Just pick a number, guess a number. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, probably 10. No, you're all wrong. 0. I never lost with a team, ever. I just play like this, don't do anything. We are going to the gear, by the way, in second. It's not, of course, a free-to-play gear, but if you're a free-to-play player, or let's say a veteran player who doesn't spend a lot, and you have those characters maxed out, you can get very, very close to what I'm doing currently. But anyways, I never lost to that team. Not even once. And do you know how many times I lost 2 characters? So in a way, I still won, but 2 of my characters were dead, so I had to, let's say, waste some consumables so I can revive my characters. Do you know how many times this happened? Pick a number again. 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 11 times, 20 times. 0 times. I never lost 2 characters. Ever. With that team. Because it's super difficult to lose a character. It is almost impossible. With the team composition and in the gear, it's almost impossible to lose a character. And then, the last thing. Can you guess how many times I lost single character? So I still won the fight, which was on auto combat. Of course, I'm always talking about auto combat. I never play with that team. Ever. I'm just using it on auto combat. And that's the beauty of this team, because it's so freaking good that it can never lose in the crypt. I never tested it in towers and stuff like this. But apparently, the title of the video is the best team for the crypt, so this is the best team for the crypt. I've been testing it for weeks, and back to the question. How many times did I lose a single character? Pick a number in your heads. 1, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. 1 time. 1 single time I lost a character using that team. And if you're wondering how this thing happened, I was playing against a team that had enraged modifier. So they were generating power like crazy. So at the end of the day, unfortunately for me, I lost the character, so I had to use a consumable. I still won the fight though, but I lost 1 character. And I felt like, what the hell? I lost a character? I was super surprised because, as you can guess, this thing doesn't really happen often with that team. So, long story short, just going to kill this guy. Long story short, this team is exceptional. This team is absolutely godlike. And now, after I mentioned everything about this team, how good it is, and how I tested it for more than 2 weeks, and how I lost a character just once, and how I never lost with this team ever, now it is time to talk about the gear. I made a video about the... Oh, that's 5 crystals, that's cool. I made a video about the top, the best gear that you can have in your characters, and by the way, this is one of those examples. Now, on Shang Tsung, I have the Thunderstorm Lord Stormweaver. Now, I don't really care about the Barca starting power on Shang Tsung because he's generating power a lot. What I do care about is the Dispel. You need to have Dispel so that you can escape. If they, for instance, snare you, you can escape by having this spell. And the AI is kind of dumb. In a lot of situations, they're going to cast Special 1 Shang Tsung, despite the fact that he has 2 bars of power, he can do unblockable special to healing you in the process. So in a way, by having this gear, I'm saying to the AI, no, you can do special 1, and that's going to be cool because the special 1 is going to give you dispel, and if you're snared or something, you can escape. That's pretty cool. The Varant Jacket, chance to dodge special attack, reducing the damage of the special attack. So that's pretty cool. Now, it's not compulsory, by the way. If you don't have the Varant Jacket, you can use any piece of gear that gives unblockable chance reduction. Why is that important? Because unblockable chance reduction makes sure that the enemy teams cannot break your block. And you know what is the best part about the AI? Actually, the worst part about the AI, it is the fact that they're blocking all the time. They're blocking all the time. It is absolutely disgusting. However, in certain situations, you can take that to your advantage. Knowing that the AI is going to block, you can give your team gears that have unblockable chance reduction, and this is going to be exceptionally well received by your AI. Now, the Frost Orb is here for 2 reasons. First reason, I mean, the Resurrection. The second reason is immunity to stun, which is super useful if you're facing characters such as Circle of Shadow, Liu Kang. That's super bad for you. And the Ceremonial Pipe, guys. The Ceremonial Pipe, it doesn't matter the fusion. It is super useful, and it must be in any auto team, or any team, by the way, because it works on any character. It doesn't have to be on an active character. It can be on the passive character. And you know, every single time when an enemy is targeting has shield or he's immortal, guess what? They don't have shield and they are no longer immortal. Of course, Fusion Zero is going to give you just 70% chance that this is pretty good. Now, the next guy in this absolutely busted team is Sub-Zero, and this is the equipment I have on Sub-Zero. Now, this, I believe every single one of you have this piece. Even if Fusion Zero will work, it doesn't have to be max fusion. The KRYPT, if you don't have KRYPT, you can use, for instance, Rat Hammer. It's not going to be that good because the KRYPT gives ice armor after defeating an opponent, and attack boost and draining bars of power. So having Rat Hammer as substitute won't give you that many defensive utilities, but still it will do, and your Sub-Zero will be doing pretty good damage. The Frost Mask, it doesn't have to be maxed out. You can use it at Fusion 4, Fusion 5. It's not really that important. The most important thing about it is that it gives the opponent unblockable attack chance reduction. If you don't have exactly the Frost Mask, you can use whatever piece that gives unblockable attack chance reduction. And the Jinsei hat, unfortunately in this particular case, it must be maxed out because of the fact that you avoid death. Every single time when they try to kill you, avoid death, and that's pretty awesome. And now the last thing that I want to mention is the gear that I have on MK11 Rain. Probably you're already seeing the thing. I already have the 40% opponent unblockable attack chance reduction. As I said in the beginning, this is super important, especially on MK11 Rain. Why is that? Because he's blocking all the time, and from here, I mean, in certain situations, he's going to counter attack. So he's blocking and then counter attack, blocking, counter attack. And the Shadow Sash is very good, very free to play piece of equipment, so definitely you can use it. The Varmint Silky Hat, if you have it maxed out, cool. If you don't have it, you can still use it. It's not going to be that effective, but it's going to still use it. The Rocking Bowling Stones, any fusion will do because you need block break and reduction. And the Varmint's Ace in a Hole, if you don't have it, you can use the Living Dead instead. Any fusion goes. So as you can see, as a free-to-play, you cannot really replicate exactly the same gear, but you can go kind of close. And we're going to do one last fight so that you can see the potential of this team. Again, I will be this time, I'll be just watching. The modifier is blowback. I won't be doing anything. I'll be providing some kind of a live commentary on the fight itself. Shansun is going to start this fight. Unfortunately for us, this is a very defensive team. Sub-Zero gear is making sure that they all have frostbite. So if they have to start with X-ray, they cannot. This is on top of the fact that I have the Varmint Silky Hat maxed out, so that's pretty cool. This guy cannot break our blocks, so we can basically block forever. That's super important. Once again, guys, remember that the AI is super dumb. They will be blocking all the time. And because they're blocking all the time, you need to make sure that you have gear that gives you unblockable chance reduction so that the AI will survive. By the way, every single second that they are spending tagged out is healing them thanks to Rain passive. And if they kill somebody, they're healing again thanks to Shang Tsung passive. So generally speaking, guys, this team is insane. Once again, more than 1,000 fights in the crypt. I only lost a character once. Again, once. And even if we agree that I have pay-to-win gear and you won't have, let's say, even 50% of the gear that I have, probably you're going to lose one character 5 times or something. I'm very convinced this team can do pretty well, even if you don't have exceptionally powerful equipment. Like, generally good equipment will do. generally good equipment will do. Remember, the most important thing is to give Rain unblockable chance reduction gear such as the Shadow Sash, which is a free-to-play friendly gear. And Shansung should have something to save him, apart from Sub-Zero. For instance, the Living Death or whatever. There are... How many pieces that can resurrect with Fusion Zero? The Frost Orb and the Living Death. Are they just 2? No, there is also a rare piece. Unfortunately, it has to be maxed out, but still, it's a rare piece, so... Okay... I mean, even if you don't have a piece of equipment on Shansung that can resurrect him, it's not really a big deal. Simply isn't. Because Sub-Zero is there to save him. Of course, you will probably lose him more often, but still, it is perfectly fine. Alright guys, so I hope you found this video useful. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and if you don't like the video, if you think it's a brutally bad pay-to-win video, thumb down, don't worry about it. See you next time. Take care, guys.